Hey, if you're wondering why you are struggling in building network marketing business and what's missing, this video is for you. And if we have not, my name is Edita. I'm from VIE now. I'm a network marketer like you. I love network marketing, but I don't like prospecting, and it created a problem. I didn't like chasing people. I didn't like approaching strangers. I didn't like starting on conversation with a thought to throw my stuff in at some point, and so I was struggling until I found a way to get my ideal prospects to come to me instead. And I share that knowledge at VIE now. And if you would like to learn the 3-step formula to recruit new team members without having to prospect and feel awkward and come across obnoxious, you can find it at viesnow.com/3 steps. I have the link in the description of this video, and today I want to talk about the missing piece that so many network marketers actually miss without realizing that. And it's definitely not their fault, because in most cases our upline and our company just simply don't teach that kind of stuff. And actually they teach misleading stuff in many cases, and specifically in terms of traditional marketing and how traditionally network marketing was done. Good morning, Mark, nice to see you. And I don't know why that's what we call traditional prospecting or traditional network marketing building is still around to such a huge degree, and most network marketers are struggling and not getting results and getting disappointed and quit, unfortunately, only because they miss some key things. And in many cases it's not even about learning massive skills. In many cases is about learning, just simply knowing a couple of things that immediately change everything. So as far, if we talk about traditional building of a network marketing business, so usually it consists of prospecting and of some sort of a closing information. And it's usually active prospecting, prospecting that makes us feel so uncomfortable, most of us. And I don't know, I met a couple of people who didn't mind prospecting, but the majority of people, and through my own business and through the audience that I'm building, I know that so many people just don't like this active prospecting the way it's being taught, because even if we approach people, even if we accept that, they still don't teach us how to do it. That's why it creates so many issues. So this traditional building of a network marketing business consists of this active prospecting and these closing conversations. And again, when I say closing, there's usually very few real closing techniques used by marketers in general are used. People just say whatever they think they should be saying. Sometimes what we should be saying in reality is kind of counterintuitive, and we don't come up with that stuff, So those conversations are usually very inefficient, and that's why there is so much rejection and so much resistance from in network marketers themselves. In terms, I used to hate to contact people who I hadn't talked to for a long time, to ask them to meet with me for a coffee, to catch up and stuff like that. And then I was going to these meetings and I didn't know what I was gonna say, how I was gonna do it, and I was doing these presentations and telling about my stuff, which was the wrong way to do it. But really, there is something missing in between this active prospecting, even if you choose it, and these closing conversations or these final conversations. There's a big missing piece in traditional network marketing building, and it's the piece where we actually create influence. And it's such a, we don't, and I don't know why it's not taught in traditional network marketing, but nearly every other business relies on building influence. So they build their audience, they kind of put themselves out there, to let the world know about them. Okay, and then they build influence in terms of, by providing value. And what does that give? What does it mean? I used to think that when I influence somebody, it kind of had the same connotations for me as manipulating people, but actually influence is something completely different. Influence is when it simply means that your opinion matters. And what happens when your opinion matters? The need to be needy and greedy and obnoxious and salesy completely disappears. Why? Because when you say when you tell somebody that you like this book, they go and get this book because you said so, even if you didn't try to sell them this book. So when you think about famous people who you might like, and famous figures in network marketing, let's say it's Ray Higdon or Eric Worre, in many cases they don't even give you a pitch. In many cases they only talk about their daily things. Say, for example, what if Ray Higdon said, I like this book, or look guys, I bought this laptop for myself and it's working perfectly for my freedom lifestyle, and I love it. Guess how many people will go to Amazon and get that same laptop the following day, just because Ray Higdon said it, because his opinion matters. If you trust somebody, if you like them, when they tell you something, you automatically, your mind, subconscious mind automatically registers that fact without rationalizing, without thinking about it. And that's how we are wired. If we trust and like somebody, their opinion matters automatically. So that piece of making your opinion important is missing in traditional network marketing. And how do you do it? Well, it's really, really simple, and it usually comes down. You can explain it from different angles, but it just comes down to talking about your prospect problems instead of your problems. So thinking about what your prospects need instead of what you need. So you need to sell something. You say, buy my product. You post your product photos. What does that do? There's nothing in there for your audience to see what's in there for them, what is gonna do for them. There's nothing in there to solve their problems. And so it just makes you disappear, your opinion disappear, and it also means that when you get to talk to these people, you still have to really try hard to try to sell them something. And why is it so difficult? It's because your opinion doesn't matter. That's why before we learn these things, that's why we need to be pushy and aggressive, and that's why there's this common opinion in network marketing that to be a good salesperson, you need to be aggressive and pushy, which is not true. If you do your marketing right, and building influence is part of doing the marketing right, when you do it right, actually, and when you put focus on your prospects, as opposed to the fact that you want to sell them something, makes them see that you care, and makes them, helps them know that your opinion matters. And when you end up having, a selling or closing conversation with them, they look at you very, very differently. And in many cases, they ask for more information, or they ask for your products by themselves, which is the ultimate goal. You provide them with the solution, you help them, and by doing that, you attract them to you and help them, come to you for more information. And, tell me what you think about it. Do you think that makes all the difference? If they ask you for more information as opposed to you trying to convince them that your product is better or the best. Nobody cares if it's better or the best. People only care what it's gonna do for them. People only care if it's gonna help them solve the problems that they are having and want to get rid of, starting like tomorrow or soon. So in attraction marketing and proper marketing, we have prospecting, whether it's passive, and I'll be talking about passive prospecting in more detail in future trainings, but whether it's passive or active, then we have this piece of influence building, and then we have these closing conversations that are usually triggered by your prospects or your customers who ask you for more information. Imagine how it feels actually to tell somebody about your stuff when they asked you, and you don't have to convince them of anything. Usually it's just the case of answering a few questions, and defining next steps. Okay, what do you need to do next? That's all it usually means. And so this missing piece, the piece of influence building, is what makes us feel, if it's not there, that's why we feel salesy and uncomfortable and awkward and develop resistance. And I developed procrastination. I didn't want to contact, and in the morning I wake up and I think I need to contact these 5 people, and then by noon I don't want to contact these five people anymore. I find other things to do because I didn't understand that I need to work on making my opinion matter. So how, in practical terms, how do you build influence? Well, with social media, it's very easy. In most cases, it's just posting useful content, whether it's written posts or videos, on social media, it's very easy, and it naturally attracts people who find that stuff useful. But again, it's not your product photos or that generic marketing material. It's usually, first of all, you're not there in that. It's not forming your opinion. It's your company's marketing material. So it doesn't serve you in terms of creating influence. And the other thing that I always try, the point I always make is that from my research of that generic marketing material, it doesn't do a good job in explaining people what's in there for them. It usually the focus is on the product itself, including things like, the color of the bottles and the sizes and whatever, which doesn't matter at all, and it doesn't do anything for making your opinion matter anyway. So on this note, I want to wrap up, and I hope this video was useful. You got value out of it. Please let me know what you think in the comments, and thanks so much for watching. It's a holiday season. Can you feel it? I can feel it already, and it's gonna be completely different this year. But at the same time, I'm enjoying the idea that it's gonna be without any planning, without any rushing, without big things. It's just mostly relaxing and maybe getting some peace. So I wish the same to you, and I think I'll be talking to you tomorrow again. But anyway, thanks very much for watching, and get into that mood now. Get into the festive mood, and I hope you'll enjoy. No matter what it means to you this year, it's tough for many people, but I hope you'll find some peace in that. So anyway, thanks again, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye now.